Happy eclipse season, everyone. 2026, August. Is your shadow showing? Mine is. I have been cleaning out my cow run with my kids. They've been working really hard on fencing so that we can better take care of our chickens, so we can raise our meat birds next year here. We haven't been able to do all of the things that we've wanted to do this year because our family has really gone through the ringer. Now, I've talked a little bit about on this channel that about a year ago, I contracted Lyme disease. I was misdiagnosed. Over the winter, I wasn't able to walk at one point. I had arthritis so bad in my body. And at the same time, I found out that my husband had a really serious alcohol problem and an untreated mental illness. And he decided he didn't really want to be a part of our family in the same way. So if anybody's going to get depressed, it would probably be something like that, right? Well, depression is the point in this culture, and that's what I'm going to talk about today, because a lot of people get very depressed and their shadow side. It's all entwined. And what do I mean about the shadow side? I'll show you some flowers too, because they are the antidote to depression. These are hollyhocks. So the shadow side is all that, it's that side of us that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to pretend is real. And so some people will blame it on others, right? They'll say, I didn't do that. It's someone else's fault. It's totally someone else's fault. They made me feel that way. They made me do that. They're kind of deflectors. So you have those kinds of people, and then you have other people who internalize it more and their depression goes inward. That's fennel right there. And so it looks different in all of us, but we all have it. We all have a light side, that side that we're proud of, that helps us get the things done that we want to do. And then that shadow side, that darkness that, isn't real pretty. But I'll tell you what is pretty is my dill. I just let dill self-sow. Dill and borage and calendula. Some of that around. Behind me here is asparagus. A lot of people ask about that. This one's really pretty, and I don't know if I planted this. I'm not sure what it is. It's really pretty and purple. Sorry for the traffic. I do live close to the road in an old mining house, late 1800s mining house. And okay, let's see, what else do I have before we head over back to the cow run? So depression is kind of the point in an extractive society, right? We live in a capitalistic, patriarchal, Christian nationalism, fascist now, society where you're told you're not good enough. Basically, unless you're a white Christian straight man, you're not good enough. And even if you are one of those guys, you're still told you're not good enough, and you have to dominate someone else in order to be good enough. This is a globe thistle. A lot of people ask about that too. Let's see. So depression is kind of the point. We're told that we're not good enough so that we'll buy stuff, so that we will try to attain a standard of living just isn't sustainable or healthy. This is hyssop. My girls actually made a tincture of this, or an oxymel of this earlier for cold and flu season. So we live in the richest country in the world with the most resources. We should have all the pleasure at our disposal, but we don't have it. So many of us have a scarcity mindset. It's scary out there. Are we going to have health insurance? Are we going to have a livable wage? Are we going to be able to survive? How are we going to make ends meet? What are we going to do? How are we going to get through the relationships with people who are so deeply damaged by this society, whose egos are so overinflated, it can make it almost impossible to deal with them at times. You know what I'm talking about, right? Hold on, we have a chicken run open. So it's no wonder that we get depressed, right? And there are people who spend years, decades, lifetimes, and even smear it onto the next generation with their depression because they quite honestly refuse to dig into that shadow side of themselves and say, what is getting triggered in me that I'm having this reaction that is manifesting as depression? What in me is hurt so badly that I cannot function in the way that I'm supposed to as a living, breathing, autonomous whole being? Depression is the point. It's what the oligarch wants. It's what the fascists want. It renders you unable to move, so you're easily controlled. Now, I'm not talking about depression like, hey, a girl gets pretty darn sick, like the sickest she's ever been. Her husband at the time abandons her and the kids, and she's got to crawl her way out of it. I'm not really talking about that, like a major life event. I'm talking about folks who suffer from this year after year after decade after decade. Oh, I wanted to also mention to you St. John's wort. This is a really helpful ally. If you're not on an SSRI, this is a great flower to make a tea out of or a tincture. You can see the flowers and the leaves have little pinpricks in them, like a needle has pinpricked them. That's how, and if you hold it up to the light, you can see it. That's how you know it's St. John's. It's safe to use. It's great to use to chase away some mild depression, as well as you can make an oil, infuse it in oil, and it can be a cooling oil for rashes and burns, things like that. So use your St. John's. So anyways, I'm thinking a lot about shadow work right now, and to me it just seemed very clear that while I'm watching people and trying to do parenting with people, with someone and other people who are just struggling with this like slop of a depression, like, oh my goodness, it just takes over. And we got to dig in. If we want to get to the root of it, we need to gently dig in. What's going on here? What patterns have I learned from others, from childhood? What traumas have been passed on to me that I'm expected to carry for the rest of my life? How can I resist this toxic aspect of American culture, which is toxic individualism, right? Like being so mired down in depression that you can't take care of those who depend on you. You can't think about anything other than your own misery. Like, that is toxic individualism for sure. Not being able to pull yourself out of that, that is letting the top-down powers win, render you helpless in your own life. There's nothing I can do. Boo-hoo, wah-wah. It's really tough. It's really tough for folks such as myself who are very driven to find a solution, because if you're committed to always being a victim of your depression and not taking responsibility, well, then that's all you're ever going to be. Now, for myself, I have had to dig into a lot of my shadow side. I'm a workaholic, I'll admit it. I bust ass every single day. It's really hard for me to take time off, and even if I'm taking time off, I'm probably doing something like foraging, which is still work. I will fully admit that. I work really hard so that I can have food sovereignty, medicine sovereignty. I'm working really hard to get my cow back right now, and sometimes I am just so driven and focused that I really can't have much more of a life than that. That gets into my shadow side, right? I have a lot of fears of abandonment. I have a lot of fears that people, if they get too close to me, are going to hurt me, are going to rip the rug out from under me, and I'm going to be left with nothing. It's kind of why I stockpile a year's worth of food on hand and medicine, right? I have some issues, and I've really been trying to face that this year, and especially this eclipse season of like, okay, this is why I'm feeling a little shaky. This is what's kind of got me rattled. This is normal, and I should dig into this and gently, make a little balm, so to speak, a like psychological balm. Tell myself it is perfectly okay to have the reaction that I'm having because I'm a complex being with light and dark sides. There's so much going on inside of me, inside of you, inside of everyone that we love, and that is okay. We want to hold space for that for ourselves and the people we care about, and it's going to be messy. It isn't always going to look great, but if we do that work, it's a bit of resistance so that we have a little bit more autonomy over our own lives and we don't pass it on to the next generation. That self-awareness is so key for us living the authentic lives that we're supposed to and finding things that may bring us joy. And if you're struggling to find that for yourself, like if you're one of those folks that has been mired in depression for maybe longer than you care to admit, or maybe longer than you haven't been depressed. There are people who live like that. I want to gently offer that there might be something far deeper going on for you inside of your psyche and personality. I am not a mental health professional, but I've learned a heck of a lot about personality disorders over the last year. And there might be something like that going on for you, which is rendering you unable to function on a good enough level because there's a lot cobbled up in there. And it's not your fault you have that disorder, but it is your responsibility to figure it out and then take responsibility for it. And you can. You totally can, but it's that radical acceptance of who you are, those parts of you, and giving yourself love, and the people who matter will love you for it. I will love you for it. Happy eclipse season. Dig into that shadow side in yourself. It's okay. We all have it. Everything's going to be fine. I promise. We're going to get through it. The fascists and the tech bros and the oligarch don't have to win. The capitalists don't have to win. We have to play their game to a certain extent, but we can also work towards our own goals, like I'm doing, trying to get my cow back. She's been with some friends all summer, trying to make sure I can raise my meat birds next year. And next year it'll be the year of the garden again, because this was the year of the cleanup and the salvaging a sort of sinking ship for a while, but we are doing it. So take care, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. Give yourselves some grace. It is okay. We are not perfect. And if you're able to, take care of someone else too. Bye-bye.